Hey guys, how are you doing? I'm getting ready for a interview with Zero Limits Living. You guys know Dr. Joe Vitale? He's one of the guys on The book and the movie, Dr. Joe Vitale. So I'm actually doing a show with him right now, and it's supposed to start now. So I'm just waiting for it to get started. Meanwhile, while I'm doing the show, I'm not going to be interacting with you because I'm going to be on the show, but I want you to listen in while it's happening. So welcome to check it out. Hello.
Howdy, David.
Hey,
Hey,
Doctor.
David, how are you?
Fantastic. How are yourself?
I'm fine. Thank you for making time to do this. That's Nick. Nick's in the recording studio in Los Angeles.
Hey, Nick.
Hi, it's a pleasure.
Yeah.
And David, we go about 25 minutes. Any questions, concerns, anything beforehand?
No, I've done a lot of these, so I get
I know.
how it works.
Yeah, all right. Well, all right. Nick, give me a countdown and we'll rock and roll here.
Sounds like a plan. You guys are looking good. You're sounding good.
Recording in progress.
As you said, let's rock and roll this guy in... Oh, excuse me now. Excuse me. Let's rock and roll in 3, 2, 1, action.
Hello and welcome. You've landed on Zero Limits Living. I'm Dr. Joe Vitale. Every week I bring you inspiration and information to transform your life. This show has become so popular you could see it or hear it on 1,000 platforms across the planet, including Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, YouTube, and probably anything you could name and anything you're using right now. To make it easy for you, I'm putting all the episodes in one place. They're at ZeroLimitsLivingTV.com. Go there, pack a lunch, enjoy yourself, and binge. Very quickly, people ask me about coaching. I started a coaching program 20 years ago, trademarked it 15 years ago. It's a system proven to work. If you're curious, go to miraclescoaching.com. My latest program is mentaltimetravelsystem.com. My latest book is Unexpected Kindness at unexpectedkindnessbook.com. And I have a new book coming out in July 2024 called Zero Limits Living. The show is called Zero Limits Living. The new book is Zero Limits Living. Maybe you notice a trend here. I am pursuing the question, do we have any limits? And as I do so, I'm interested in anything and everything that can help us, including weird gadgets that look like I'm holding 2 donuts. But I'm not, because they're wired and they're connected to a chi coil transmitter, and that is then connected to a small computer. And all of this is fascinating because the stories of people using this device are incredible. I became so curious, I went and found the inventor of it, a man known as the frequency expert, and he's here now. David Wong, how are you?
I'm doing awesome. How are you doing, Dr. Joe Vitale?
I'm holding your gadget here, and it's set on calm and joyful, and I just feel so calm and joyful. It's working.
That's how it works.
How in the world did you ever come up with this? I know you're an author. You've written a book on this. You're the expert on these frequencies. This is an amazing unit. You sell the 1 version, the 2 versions, and there's probably more that I don't even know about that's at your coil store. How did you get involved in this?
Well, it's a self-healing journey. So I had a disease that was incurable according to all the doctors, right? I went to all these experts and they say I had this ulcerative colitis, this bleeding of your gut. I had it for 10 years, and all they gave me was medications, which gave me side effects and more side effects and so on. And it wasn't until I started to research into frequencies and these devices, or electromagnetism, or basically magnetism that we get from nature, that I accidentally healed myself in 90 days. So I was experimenting with these coils. I was using a frequency to see if it would help me meditate better at first. But not only did I deepen my meditations and I got rid of my anxiety, my stress, and my depression, I actually healed myself physically from the disease that they told me was incurable.
That is incredible. So how in the world do you bottle a frequency? you had to find the frequency that would actually help you, and you said that you were doing this for meditation to begin with, but that frequency apparently was the door that opened up for you to actually cure what was considered incurable.
Right.
How do you bottle a frequency? How do you get your head around that to do something with it?
There's actually many techniques, but if you want to just keep it simple, you, you know, Earth, yeah. So Earth has a frequency, right? There's a Dr. Schumann who found it, and it was 7.83. And scientists at NASA actually tested using this frequency in the spaceships, and they found that this frequency increases cell regeneration by 40%.
And I also saw you're very active on Instagram, so I was poking around a little bit to get a sense of who you are, because we haven't met before. I have your unit and was just using it cold and fumbling around on my own. And you said it's helped you do a lot of things, including what you just said, but also it helped you anti-age.
Yes.
You're aging backwards.
Basically.
You're youthing.
So if you're watching right now, how do you think I look? I know I'm
Well, I
Asian.
saw your Instagram video, so I know how old you are, but
Yeah.
I would say for most people, they would think, you know, you're very young.
Yeah, 20s, 30s.
Yeah.
So I'm 43, and
Wow.
I have the energy of a 20, 30-year-old. I train 4 days a week with competitive boxing. I run
really?
multiple businesses. I'm very healthy. Obviously, I don't have the disease anymore. And every day I'm just go, 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 and I meditate. I do qigong, and life is great. So yeah, it's a big transformation, because before I found this technology or created it, I was really depressed because I actually lost a lot of money. I trusted the wrong person. I lost $350,000. So that's a lot of money back 20 years ago, right?
It's a lot of money anytime you look at it.
Yeah. And I got really depressed, and I kind of lost confidence in myself and lost all hope of becoming successful, because I was a young guy. I was motivated, and I had dreams, but that put my dreams to a halt and went backwards. And then for 10 years I suffered, and for 10 years I went soul searching, and I had this disease and had depression. But it's not until I found this technology and these frequencies that my life just completely turned around 360 or 180. And it just went on from there. Now we have a company. We've been around for about 7 years now. We've transformed tens of thousands of lives around the world. You've seen the all the reviews and testimonials, people who had some serious health conditions being able to reverse it. Now, this is not a medical device. This is a this is a wellness device for meditation, relaxation, right? And for attracting abundance. But people have been using it and reporting that it's actually healing them as well.
Well, it's phenomenal what you're doing and what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, and I've been using the device, and so has my partner, Lisa Winston's been using the device. And so we see all this happening, but me as a journalist and me as a person who's interviewing you right now is still confused. How do you, in the beginning, hear about the frequency of the planet, for example, and then somehow recreate that into a device?
Right. So people want to say, how does this work? It's very basic. Okay. So for example, we have sounds. We have 10,000 different programs in here. So everything you can even imagine, everything from stress, improving your mood, better relationships, for pain management, sleep, more energy, or even things like attracting abundance or manifesting or visualizing.
I saw that, being lucky.
Yeah, removing negative sabotaging thoughts, removing negative energy, PTSD, trauma, removing all those negative bad stuff. So we have 10 different programs. So these are all sounds that we have either created ourselves or we have curated from people who have been creating sounds for, let's say, the last 80 years. Okay, so these sounds go into, that little kit, and this basically is electricity. So the sounds plus electricity, and then these get connected to coils, and the coils turn the electricity into magnetism. So magnetic waves. And science tells us that our bodies are actually magnetic, right? We have this magnetic energy field around us, and we can actually measure it. And people who are very sick have very small and non-detectable magnetic fields. But people who are very healthy and vibrant, their magnetic fields are huge. You can actually measure it 20 feet away from them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So what this does is uses nature's magnetism and our body's own magnetism and amplifies it. So that's why they're called qi.
Yes, chi. You call it qi. It's a qi coil. Qicoil. Is that correct?
Yeah. So qi, because in Chinese qi is spelled with qi.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have several questions. I have the unit that has two of the handheld devices. And so what is the advantage to that?
Right. So I base this on yin and yang. Yin, as we know, is the feminine, and then yang is the masculine. So throughout the universe, we see a polarity, right? There's darkness, there's light, there's positive, negative, and so on. You can see it throughout the universe. So the yin is more gentle, it's more calming and more relaxing, and then the yang is more focused and aggressive and more motivating and more activating. And if you use them differently, you will feel a difference, and most people will. Now, if you use, you're probably asking, well, what if you use them at the same time? Well, you create this ultimate balance, and you start to create something called scalar waves. It gets more technical, but basically, you create something that the ancients from long ago, from the ancient pyramids and people who built the ancient palaces in China, they figured this out. And what we've done was we replicated it and duplicated this ancient technology using that.
This is amazing. So one of the key questions I have is, they look like there's handles to them. So are you supposed to hold them, or can you put them in your pockets or lay it on your lap? Like I'm doing an interview. If I didn't want them to be seen, should I just put them in my pockets?
Yeah, you can put them in pockets. I just put them on my table. I got my desk, my laptop. I put them right there, just like that.
Okay.
And then
how far away can they be? In other words, if I put it on the other side of the room, is it still going to help me, or does
it will. So these ones will have a 10 feet radius each. And then you see the big coil is actually a chi coil. This is actually a chi coil. And
yeah, I saw that. I was going to ask.
This is a chi coil Aura, and it looks kind of small, but it is actually 2 by 2 feet. You see?
That's amazing.
This reaches 3,000 square feet.
And what is it doing? You have it set right now. Is it running a program in your?
It's not
office?
turned on, but then the light is on. But then if I want to play the whole house, I turn it on, and the whole house will get the energy. So the benefit with this versus any other, like a PEMF or any technology, you don't have to touch it. You just put it there, and everybody, pets, plants, animals, food, water, all get energized just being in the vicinity.
Okay, so being in the vicinity. The next question is, how long do you run it? And before you answer, I want to tell you what just happened to me. Because I knew I was going to interview you, and I had the coils here. I thought, well, I'm going to use it on myself right as I go into the show. Well, I was a little stressed out. I had a serviceman here, then the puppy threw up, and then there was something else going on with the delivery. So I thought, well, I'm going to use the Calm. And so I selected Calm, and I sat here, and I was calming down. And then I thought, I wonder what else I can run. And I saw the Lucky program, and I thought, I want to be calm and lucky. So I did Calm, then I did Lucky, and then I started to feel like, wait a minute, the weather is changing. I have allergies coming on. Maybe I should go to that. How long do you run any one of these programs before you just go nuts and go, okay, there's 10,000 programs. David Wong says I should go, which one? How long for each one?
It's different for everybody, right? So I use them around 30 minutes a day. 30 minutes total. I would say total 30 minutes to an hour every day. So in the morning, I start work, I put them on. And then when work, I'm super focused. Like I just talked to my friend who has my coils, and he has what you call ADHD, right? Yeah. So he can't sit down and focus. He has to play music, and then every 1 hour you can't sit down. You got to go out and do something. So he said, well, I used to listen to music, and I can sit for an hour and work. But now I'm using chi coils. I'm not playing any music. It's silent, and I can sit 2 hours without having to move. Yeah.
I see.
So
if you're only doing one session a day, it's 30 to an hour long. Which one do you know to do?
Do the ones you need, right? Like eventually you're gonna feel like, oh, this one feels good, or this one, yeah. So do ones you like, and then in the beginning, everybody goes crazy and starts trying everything. But eventually you're going to figure out, oh, I like this one better. Oh, this one makes me feel this way. So you kind of pick out your favorites, and then you just play those. And to answer your question, some people play them all day, right? Like for example, like you can have these playing in the house or your business even all the time, and it supports all your staff. It supports all the people who are working there. They get a lift. They get a mood boost. They get stress relief. So you get better performance in your business as well.
I love this. So we've been talking a lot about the health, and it helped you cure an incurable illness. And I saw from all the programs, the right frequencies, the quantum frequencies, and all the elements that somebody can have, there's something there for every single person. However, I'm a practical entrepreneur. So I'm curious about the lucky one, the wealth one, the the ones you have in there that are actually doing things besides the physical body, or is wealth attraction somehow tied to the physical body? What are your thoughts on that, or any programs related to
That's
that?
a really good question. So we actually probably have some of the most powerful and potent frequencies for attracting abundance or
Wow.
attracting good things. And if you boil down all the law of attraction, I've kind of simplified the two things, right? Just visualize what you want, and then feel the emotions and the and the real feeling of being there or actually having achieved it. And then third of all, just amplify it. Just make it bigger, make it stronger and more intense. So our technology can do all those three things automatically. So people are meditating, they're doing this visualization, but we can do it automatically because what are all those things? Those are all frequencies, right? Those are all states of consciousness, right? When you get into meditation, it's a frequency. When you feel happy, when you feel grateful, when you feel love, when you feel joy, those are all frequencies. So what if you can, let's say you have somebody like yourself, let's say we can capture your frequency, Dr. Joe, and we're able to capture you in your best day of your life, right? You're the most happiest, the most abundant day. And we like had a recorder and we just recorded all those frequencies. And then we created a digital version of that. What would happen if we were able to play that frequency, or somebody could listen to that or use a cheat code to experience that wherever they are, and they can use it as much as they want. So that's basically what we've done. We have captured these emotional and consciousness states and let people just replay it anytime they want.
This is amazing. This is amazing. I guess I'm still stuck on how do you capture them? If you were going to come over here, and we worked out a deal, and you're going to pay me $1 million to get the Joe Vitale frequency over here, how would you capture my frequency?
Well, we can start with your voice, or we can start with measuring your brain waves. We can measure your bioenergy field. There's many things we can do, right? And then our frequencies, we actually combine many different layers and different techniques, right? Because if you understand what right frequencies are quickly, it's just one frequency. Do, right? It's very boring.
Mm-hmm.
But what we've done, we've actually added many layers of frequency, because if you probably listen to them, they sound really, really weird because there's so many things happening in them.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that big one that's glowing behind you that makes me feel like you're on an episode of Star Trek or the Twilight Zone. What is that one? Is it pulsating right now, or is that just the light flickering?
That's the light flickering. I don't have it on right now because I had enough for the day. But when I need it, I turn it on.
And do you run any of the programs that are on the devices? Like
You can run any
anybody?
program on any of our coils. So even our smallest coil, which is actually very, very affordable, is $179.
Yeah.
You can run all the programs as far as the biggest coils. Yeah.
Okay. And do these things work with the iPhone? It's one thing to keep a tablet. My iPhone is my workhorse. I do virtually everything with it.
Yeah.
Can the T-Coil work with the iPhone?
It works for all devices. We have a website where you play all the frequencies. So it's a web app. And you can access that. You can play it on any device: iPhone, Android, tablet, iPad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You made the comment when I was asking about the pulsating Twilight Zonist device behind you that you had enough for today. How do you know when you've had enough? Somebody gets your unit, and I'm like a little kid with a gadget. It's like, I want to play with this all day long. How do you know when it's like, I'm full?
Well,
I've had enough for today.
It's a good question. Some people. So basically, it's just like food, right? That's just like food. If you drink enough water, eventually, oh, I got enough, right? If you eat enough food, oh, I'm full. So when you have enough electromagnetic frequency, or you call it sheen energy, you'll feel like you had enough. And then if you have more, then you start to feel uncomfortable, right? Because
that was my next question. Because you can't have more water and get sick, or more food and get fat.
Exactly.
Or more chi and get what?
You'll get dizzy. You get a little bit nauseous. You feel like you've detoxed too much. If you detox too much, you have too much, you release too many toxins in your bloodstream. So make sure you're drinking lots of water. Hopefully you're doing that. You're probably doing that already. And get rest, because especially when people first started, they get a really big detox because they haven't used this before. So they'll cleanse out a lot of the junk in their body that they haven't cleansed out yet. And so drink lots of water, and just get some rest, and then the next day you can use it again.
This is such a fascinating device, and you're such a fascinating person, and we're going to be running out of time pretty quickly. I'd like to know, what's your favorite success story? somebody bought the cheap coil, they used one or both, and
Yeah.
they were suffering or had a breakthrough. What's your favorite?
They made $90,000 in 2 hours. That's one of the best ones. So
That's good.
so there's this real estate agent. She's fairly famous in her state, and she had was just trying to sell. She's pretty skeptical. Like, well, what do you mean a frequency that can make you attract money, right? I was like, whatever. She tried it out, right? And then 2 hours later, she got a call out of the blue and said, hey, I want to list my house with you. And then she asked him, okay, well, who referred you? He's like, no one. I just found you from the website. It's like, what website? And then, did you see my TV show? Because she had a TV show. And then he said, no, I don't know what TV show. And then later on, he just called her out of the blue, out of thousands and thousands of realtors that were in her area, and listed his house with her, which is a $90,000 commission. And that happened 2 hours after starting using our frequencies.
I hope you got a commission on that. I'm curious too, which frequency was that? Was that the abundance one you're talking about?
Abundance. We have the attract abundance frequency. Yeah.
Okay, and what about with health? You have somebody who had, for example, Lyme disease.
Oh yeah.
Or one of the more stubborn, mysterious ones.
Oh yeah, everything. So we have frequencies. Like I want to reiterate, this is not a healing device. It's not medical treatment. But we've had people who have Lyme who used to use all these different devices that kind of worked and kind of didn't. But now she uses Qi coil and said she threw away all her other machines. She said this does everything I need. So it's amazing. There's another story. Somebody who had prostate cancer. I was on another show. I was on Coast to Coast Radio, and then at the end we're taking calls. So and then this guy called in. This is totally unexpected, and he said, "Hey, yeah, I bought a coil about a year ago. I used it on my prostate cancer. It was stage 4. Now I don't have prostate cancer."
Wow.
Yeah, so out of blue, I didn't ask anybody to give me any reviews or testimonials. It was just on a radio show. He just happened to be listening, and he happened to be picked up on the call, and he told us the story.
This is amazing. Well, this show is called Zero Limits Living, and I had alluded in the front that I'm exploring if we have any limits. What's your take on it? Do we have any limits? Can we use Qi coil and these frequencies to get through virtually anything that life throws at us?
I think the only limits we have are the ones that we set for ourselves. And what the coils and frequencies do is it tunes us into frequencies that we're probably outside of our comfort zone, or we haven't achieved yet, right? So how do you achieve a frequency that we never achieved yet? Well, all you need to do is just play it. Play a frequency that's higher than yourself, and automatically your body, your mind, your thoughts will get tuned up to that frequency.
That is a really cool insight. I hadn't thought of it that way before. How do you tune into a frequency that you haven't experienced yet? And one of them is you can select it in your 10,000 programs here, use the Qi coil, and you can actually begin to experience it.
Exactly.
Wow, this is amazing. And what about your book? I didn't know that you had been an author, and I apologize because I'm a book freak, and I would have had the book in my hand.
Yeah, you have like 1,000 books out.
Right.
So it's called The Life of Qi. It's a #1 bestseller on Amazon. You can get this on the website. Yeah, Life of Qi. So it's called The Science of Life Force. So I go pretty in depth in the science behind the Qi energy and all the different scientific experiments and studies done over the last 100 years about life force. Talks about my self-transformation stories. It gives you a little bit of an introduction to our technology. So yeah, Life of Qi.
Thank you. That's great. I'm going to go pick that up. So a couple quick questions here that are very important. I am an entrepreneur. A lot of people watching this or listening to it are entrepreneurs. How was it to start your business with this? I mean, you've probably been out there for a long time now. I see information about you and stories about you everywhere. So you're making your dent and you're making a difference. And I want to thank you for that, because this is an important contribution to the wellness of the world. But you were starting as an entrepreneur, and you're coming out with something that looked like, as I said, 2 donuts on a stick, and they're plugged in, and it's like, you got to explain this. How was it for you to come out? Immediate success, immediate confusion, immediate
I had mixed results in the beginning, but we just kept going. I mean, the thing that kept me going is because while I was suffering for 10 years, I just found my calling is to help other people who are suffering, because I realized how bad it is and how much it sucks to have a life of disease and depression. And when I was able to heal myself, I said, you know what, this is what I'm going to do to make my comeback, right? This is what I'm going to do to I can help people who need this, who have been told by the doctors that they're going to suffer for their whole lives, and say, oh, you got to take this medication for your whole life, right? Yeah. And I wanted to make a difference, and I knew what I needed to do. So it didn't matter when people told me, oh, this is snake oil, oh, this is a scam, oh, this is what is this, like you're ripping people off or something like that, right? Even though it's only $180. So I just kept going because I knew that it helped me and it changed my life. I knew that my friends, my family life was being changed. So I didn't care what people say. I just kept going, have lots of, every business has their growing pains. I had all of them. But if you're an entrepreneur and you're working on your business right now and you're growing, just keep going. Just keep believing in your dream. And I think use our frequencies. We have some free ones you can get. Use them to support yourself. It's especially the stress part, right? We get so stressed out when things don't happen our way. We get so stressed out when people give us negative feedback or negative energy. Use the frequencies to clear that out so that you can keep going and blast through all those things.
I love it. Where do people go for that free info? Where do they go to get one of the units? Is that just the Qi Coil, QICOI?
Yeah, if you go to usetheqi.com. Use the Qi. You like use the force, but use the Qi. Use the QI.com. It's my link wall. You can see everything. So you can download free frequencies. You can see the link for my book. You can see the website and the Qi coils and science and all the reviews there.
What is your favorite frequency to run? That'll be my last question. What's your favorite one to run? You go back to it more often than not.
Ultimate abundance. So I created several levels of abundance frequencies, and then because we come up with new ones and more stronger ones. So the latest one is called Ultimate Abundance, and it's amazing. It is crazy. Yeah, you turn it on, and then like instantly you feel like, whoa, I'm elevated. Like I can do anything. You feel like you're unstoppable.
On some of the frequencies, I noticed that they start with a low number and go to a higher number. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, well, it's just like Kundalini meditation. You start low resonance and then you raise the resonance higher. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. And the one you were just talking about is Ultimate Abundance?
Ultimate Abundance.
I'm going there next. David Wong, I can't thank you enough. You made a great contribution to the world by creating this and bringing the idea of the frequencies and making them portable, making them doable. So I, for one, am grateful, and thank you for making the time to do this. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I'm Dr. Joe Vitale. You've been watching or listening to Zero Limits Living. You can now see it on 1,000 platforms, including Roku, Apple TV, Amazon, and it just goes on. Go and look at everything at ZeroLimitsLivingTV.com. Check out miraclescoaching.com. I want to thank Lux Media for making this possible, Candace Barr for making the opportunity for me. Nick's running the studio cameras out in Los Angeles, and I want to thank all of you for being here. You're the ones making a difference in the world. You're the ones elevating the frequency of the planet. I love you. Expect miracles.
Recording stopped.
David, thank you. That was awesome.
Fantastic.
Is that big one for sale?
Yes.
You make that. Is that on your website?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might go look.
It's got it's really nice. It's basically artwork and technology in the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's pretty hypnotic, especially while it's pulsating. All right. I will let you know when this gets posted, and we will continue on.
Sounds great. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Hey guys, so that was the interview with Dr. Joe Vitale. Isn't that exciting, guys? What do you guys think about that? Pretty cool, right? To be on a show with a celebrity, basically. Okay, so I'm gonna go. Thanks for tuning in, and probably see me maybe on Thursday. Use the Qi and prosper.